Hi everyone and welcome to Tuesday's Tips with Laurie. Today I'm so excited to share with you some fun sewing techniques, actually quite a few sewing techniques that we are using in our sewing version of Make Yourself at Home. In addition to the regular applique that you would normally, blanket stitch around, we've added some fun 3D features. Part of which is this flexible foam. So if you can see over here on the Make Yourself at Home quilt I've got here, you can see the flexible foam just gives that fun pop off the quilt, if you will, look on these beautiful couches. They're just a lot of fun, and there's 3 couches in total on this quilt. So today I wanted to show you, just kind of start from beginning to end of how that process would happen. So to start with, I'm going to start up here on the light box. This is a picture of the pattern of Tanya's couch that I'm going to make today. So to start with, you would take a piece of the Flex Heat and Bond, and I like the light sewable. Make sure it's not the craft one that you can, because you want to be able to sew it. You trace the pattern, and I would trace just the 2 armchairs and the cushion. And these instructions are in the manual. And then once you've traced it, then you'll take this and you'll iron this to the fabric, and you end up with, and I cut around it, you end up with a piece of paper that's got this interfacing in the middle, the fusible interfacing, and then I take it back over here. And you can see one of them I've traced. That top hand stitching is what we're going to put on there. One I have not. So I'm going to show you how I would trace that. So once it's cut, I would place it back down, and I would get a tracing pen, and I prefer do not use one that is going to be like a friction pen, one that will come off with an iron. You want a water-soluble tracing pen. So there's your water-soluble, and you can see now I have that all ready to go, because once this is placed on the background fabric, it's really hard to see and trace that through. So you want to trace this first. So I now have my cushion and my 2 arm pieces ready. The next thing I'm going to do is I actually trace on my couch fabric, directly on the fabric, and here's why. If you don't trace it directly on the fabric and then you add that flexible foam, so I'll show you, I'm kind of retracing over what I've already traced, but I would just trace around it, and then I trace my cushion. This is going to be a hand stitch right there. I'm going to add that, and I trace anything that will help me on this couch in placement, guidelines, and the outline for cutting. So you can see now that I've cut it or traced it, it's already on this, and it's not going to be the friction pen again, water soluble only. And for the couches that are the darker color, you can see this is a darker color. It's a little bit harder to see through, but you wouldn't be able to see the blue pen. So what I recommend is a white water soluble. It's like a chalk pencil. And another thing, I like to use the paper tape to hold this fabric down. It really helps when you're tracing. But if you use a white water soluble pencil or a lighter color like pink, there's also another, there's chalk. You can pull these out, and these are all by Clover. It's a chalk, and this is just like a little spinning wheel. I don't know what to call that. It's great. It just allows the chalk to come right out of there. And let me show you how easy that is to see. Can you see how easy those lines are to see on the dark fabric? And that's so important to be able to see on the dark fabric. So once you have everything traced, I'm going to just flip this light off so you can see a little bit better. Once you have everything traced and it's ready, the next thing I like to do is I take my piece of fabric that I just traced on. I take the Heat and Bond Light that's the same size as the background fabric. You can see that. And I fuse these 2 together. I'm going to just pull my iron up here so I can show you how I would fuse these all together. This is an important process, so I want to make sure that you get that in the right order. And so I'm going to fuse this together. Once I've fused this to here, I peel the paper off. I didn't get that corner. All right. Ooh, it's kind of warm. Then once you peel this off, you can see that this interfacing is stuck to the back of my fabric. And then I'm going to place my foam, my flexible foam interfacing over the top of that. And then I iron it from the front side, and the reason for that is it's not going to penetrate, the heat won't penetrate fast enough through the foam. You'd take a long time ironing if you did it that direction. And so now you can see that these are all hooked together. Now I'm going to add one more piece of the fusible heat and bond. And the reason I add this other one is so we've got something that we can fuse. There's like a glue now on this that I can fuse to my background fabric. Now once you get it here, you've got all 3 layers. You can leave the paper on and you cut and you trace around your couch just like this. And I'm only going to cut around the outside through all the layers. All the layers. And you just continue cutting around that. So I'm going to just review. This is what it would look like if you were almost done cutting around it. I'm going to review that the first layer, the heat and bond, is on the back of this fabric here. I'm going to put that on. And then this is peeled off the paper, and then I'm going to heat it and bond it now to the flexible foam interfacing. And then I add that last piece of the flexible foam to the back, or last piece of the fusible web to the back of the flexible foam. And then you've got it all together, and then you trim. So that's a really important step right there, that you follow all 3 of those steps. And that's what gives this puffiness. I don't know if you can see how fun this is going to be. Now the next thing I do is I take my background fabric, and I already have placed the woven fusible interfacing, and that's really to help. There's no stretching that goes on. This is a really good solid piece of fabric. Now I'm going to peel off my paper off the back of my couch. It's now a couch. I'm so excited. And a trick that I like to do is, I know this is going to be cut to 6.5 by 6.5 because that's what it says in the book. So I like to place my couch and use this as a visual to help me place that right in the middle where I want it. Because you will trim 1 inch off of each side when it's all done. But anytime you're sewing or appliquing or embroidering, it tends to suck it in just a little bit. That's why we've allowed an excess of 1 inch around the outside edge to make sure that your block will still turn out the size you need it to be. Now I know I've got some little legs that I'm going to put right there and there, so I'm going to place it right about there. Now I keep a hold of this as I turn, and then I'm going to iron it from the back side. And again, that's because of the foam. It's a little easier for that heat to penetrate through this side rather than through the top foam piece. And once you give this a good little heat and it sticks, see how that's nice and it's stuck onto my back piece? That's what we want. So the last thing that I had already started to do is I traced lines that I was going to stitch so that I can make my couch kind of tufting. It's really fun to make the couch pop out. Now you can trace lines if you'd like. You can use the edge of your presser foot if you would prefer. Or if you can see on this fabric, there's lines. That's what I'm following, is every 2 pieces, or every 2 stripes on this fabric is what I was going to follow as far as sewing. So I'm going to take it over here to the sewing machine now, and I was going to show you. I like to do a utility stitch. You can use this is what I call the triple stitch or a bean stitch. It's actually, it looks like on your machine it'll be 3 dashed lines going side by side each other. But this is where I like to do, and then I just stitch right on that line. And then I'll trim the threads, and I'm going to twist it around, and look how fun that is. I'm going to go a couple over just so that you can kind of see how fun this is. And I stitch again. And the reason I came that direction is I wanted to show you something. And you would continue stitching these lines. Look how fun that is. Can you see how much 3D look that gives this? That is just so much fun. Now I wanted to show you that I come down past this cushion line, and there's a reason for that. You will place this piece, which will go right over the top of those edges, so it doesn't matter if they're not exact. That's what the beauty of this. So you'll continue stitching all of this until you get the back part of the couch done. Then you'll take your cushion and you're going to iron it right over the top of this. Now I'm going to show you a trick, because getting the paper off these little pieces is tricky. So what I take is, I just kind of pinch them and I use my nail. Can you see how that just popped right apart? That's what I do to take off my back pieces. And then I would iron this directly on, and look at that, it covers up all of those raw edge seams, if you will. And so I find it easier to start at the top like I just did and come down right into there, and you can stop, and then this will cover all of those. Alright, the last step of this would be, I'm going to blanket stitch now around the whole couch. And I'm going to pretend like I've ironed that on, and I'm going to pretend like I've ironed this one on right here, and you can see how that couch then starts to come together. And I'm going to pick my blanket stitch. Now what I highly recommend, get that right there, I highly recommend just a practice stitch. So you can see here's a smaller one. I like this size better because it's a thick foam right here. So this thicker foam, I recommend 3.5 inches in length and 3.5 millimeters in length and 3.5 millimeters in width. So it's just magic number, 3.5 and 3.5. So let's pretend like that's ironed on, and then what I like to do is I just start doing your blanket stitch, and believe it or not, I know you worry about the height of this, but it works beautifully. There's no worries. And I'll show you really quick. I'm just going to turn this corner so you can see how fun this is going to look. And as you can see, look how fun that is. You can see the loft that it gives to that couch. I also would stitch around the arms and the cushion. And pretty soon you're going to have your whole couch all finished and ready for that block. The block will be all ready to go for your quilt. I hope that these tips will help you in accomplishing and making this as fun as possible. And I do want to know, what is your favorite make yourself at home quilt block? I love the couches. I love Carmen's couch, but I don't know. I think my very favorite block is probably Laurie's house. Is that terrible? I love Laurie's house. Actually, I love all of it. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.